You know when you just have to fool yourself. Okay, but like when I do Snapchat, like I'm so much of my different self. I'm so much of my different self. Because you know I'm a Scorpio rising, guys. So you know with the Scorpio rising, there's three parts to us. But I just kind of just wanted to press live and just see what happens. But I'm feeling myself. I haven't been feeling myself for a couple of days, guys. Like I've had to work extra. Like usually it's a very easy, oh, she's born happy, I woke up like this kind of situation. It's very like I've had my doses of yoga in the week, and I'm telling you, when I got those, I was like high. But when I didn't have that, I've just been such an emotional Salome, and my energy, because I'm aware of what emotions are compared to feelings. So I've had to check myself a couple of times, like when you want to cuss out, but it's just like, me cussing out, what's that gonna do? What's that really gonna do? So I'm having to go back into my affirmations. My thoughts are filled with love, power, wisdom, and strength. Dance, do whatever I need to do, but my emotions, I've had to work hard to keep them on an understanding level and not let them drop down on a petty level, because I can be very petty. But it doesn't serve me to be petty. Like, what do I get out of that? Like, honestly, what do I get out of that? So that's how I've been feeling, guys. But I don't know how you guys have been feeling, but that's how. Maybe because the moon has been like passing a lot of planets, and last time it did that I think was 2008. So that transit that it made was quite a pretty cool one. And I can imagine, I can just visualize a lot of people have been like just talking out of character, and that's another thing. That's why I like astrology. So I'm just airing out, so it could be just a lot of random stuff I'm saying. I do this like once in a while. It helps me air out. But yeah, that's why like maybe like a lot of look, I don't deal with weather astrology. I deal with personal astrology. Like I've always been interested in people's psychology. Like I've always dreamt about like working. I used to be a little kid, yeah. I used to dream about like going into prisons and sitting in a prison cell and talking to the person who chopped up that next person, or who raped that child, or who did the worst thing possible that humanity couldn't even be like, you know what, nah. I wanted to work with those people, and so I find myself going there, so even like, for example, it's so amazing that because I've been wanting to do that, I have an opportunity, because I teach yoga in prison, so I'm close, I'm like showing them how to breathe in prisons, and I work in a men's prison. So I give thanks for that, and that's kind of close to it. But I like to deal with one-to-one kind of relationships. However, there are astrologers who deal with world astrology and deal with weather astrology. But I do know a couple of things. I do know, like the full moon we just had in Pisces, the moon and the planet Neptune were right next, they were right next to each other. So when the moon is next to any planet, it heightens its energy. Now, Neptune is associated with a lot of things. But it's also associated with weather. So the moon, which is also associated with water, and then next to the planet associated with weather, of course, there's floods everywhere. Like, that, and the weather's been kind of crazy. And then what was another thing that was quite interesting is that usually Mercury and Mars in a year will maybe have 1 or 2 aspects to each other. But no, this year they had like 3 or 4 aspects to each other. And so you have to visualize these things as simple as Mercury is like, just put it as air, so, and then put Mars as fire. And I know because I don't really like watching news, guys. I wouldn't lie to you, I don't really watch news unless my friend's gonna put it on, and I don't fear to be there when news is playing, of course, but I just wouldn't go out of my way to watch it, just because I'm a water sign, so I pick up a lot of things and I feel so sensitive about it. But what do you call it? Yeah, having Mars and Mercury being together, air and fire being together, so I can imagine that in weather terms, forest fires, tornadoes are expected. But then in how does that help us as humans? You can see that like a lot of people are being just I don't even know where I was. I think I was coming on Bank Station, and people having like a random argument at the top of Bank Station at the stairs. You know them spiral stairs. It's like, why would you, it's like, why would you do that? But I understand, but it's still like, why would you do that? But yeah, so although I don't deal with astrology in that way, I can't see how it's affecting the world. But then you guys have to also understand, we had an eclipse happen in Leo, and an eclipse energy lasts for 2 and a couple of months, a couple of months, but it's mainly felt 6 months before and a year into it. And the eclipse happened, a shadow was casted over the sun, and the people who saw that most was in America. So I do send my love to them as well. But this is a moment of any destruction always brings growth after it, and that's a fact. Because change always comes after it. That's a fact. So as much as people, how they're feeling, I always say positive and negatives always exist in the same spot. So I just wanted to share that out there. And all the mental love that people are getting is going to be received by them, because that's how Reiki works. That's how like people do Reiki through mental powers. And we already know that when a lot of people in one room together, things happen. We already know we're electrical magnetic energy. So you guys thinking well and sending them their loves, they are feeling them, they are receiving them. Don't feel like you cannot do something when you're not far from it. Myself, I don't speak a lot on these issues just because even right now I get emotional, so I'm just not, because I really feel everyone's pain. Like it gets really like deep, do you know what I mean? So as a water sign, I just know like for me to be in those situations, I find it's just more difficult. So maybe that's why this week I've had a more challenging week. So so that's how we can use astrology as a tool. Like I told you guys, I'm literally on a random rumble right now. But so that's how my week has been. It's been very emotional. But even when you're having an emotional week, you always have to understand that this is always an experience, and you always have to understand yourself fully. You have to understand how the mind works, how the heart works, and how the body works, how you absorb how you deal with your emotion, which is your energy emotion, how you deal with feelings, which are completely different from emotions, by the way. Feelings are things you feel, like you feel hot, you feel cold, you feel people's energy. How does that affect you? Like those kind of things. Even when you're pissed off, upset, sad, the worst thing has happened to you, someone spat on your face, need to come into play. Like need to come into you see when my battery wants to die. Needs to come into conversation when you're thinking about, when you're having this experience in life. You don't just experience life and be sad and be a victim. You don't need to do that. And that's what I used to do before. Like I used to be the best victim ever, like, but I made sure that that's not me, because as soon as you understand that life is an experience, your frequency stays at here. You don't want your frequency to go down and come from a place of hate, and because hate is misunderstanding, hate is jealousy, hate is possessiveness, hate is attachment. You want to come here to, okay, cool, this has happened, I have an understanding to why this has happened, or I'm seeking the understanding to why this happened, the wisdom behind the experience. So you wanna bring your energy up here. So understanding is a love energy, because when you love, you understand the person, even if you don't agree, you have an understanding, and that inspires growth, that inspires a lot of things out of that, and understanding is it's just been on point, so you always want to resonate from that energy. And like I've been vlogging, guys, and I don't know if you guys have watched any of my YouTube vlogs, so if you haven't, go over there and watch my YouTube videos. But what I do say, I go according to the 7 principles of the universe. The first one, it says the mind is all, the universe is mental, and it goes all the way down. And on top of those, I've added my own sets of principles that I was speaking about. I think I actually, I still have them here. Like I wrote them. The first, I think I did 3, not think. I did 3 of them, and it was all about love. I always have to have love in everything I do. So joy. I have to have joy in everything I do. That was one of the principles. The other principle was I show compassion to every single person. I show compassion to every single person. I don't have to agree with what you do. I don't even have to agree with you, but I will always show compassion to you, because you have the same will like I have the same will. When you come onto this earth, we all have to abide by a set of rules. Gravity is one of them. there's other rules that obviously govern us all. Like, all of us will feel pain. Like, if I do this, you not pain, but you will feel it, right? That's the contract we made with the physical body. So this body, we do have will, we have certain wills with it, but your will is completely different from my will, based on values, based on how I was born, based on what I think is right and wrong, basically your perception. And so I'm not gonna disrespect you or be in my feelings because you don't agree with what I agree with. No, I'll show you compassion. And if you act out of character for me, I will show you the most compassion, because a human being that's well will never act out of their character. So I show more compassion. That was one of my principles. And then my other principle was, I think that was the other one. They kind of intertwined with each other, mainly. But my point across was setting your own values and really living by them till they become a subconscious act. So I don't really like, before, how I used to get into my feelings about things, it's not the same way. Like, I will feel I will feel it. Don't get me wrong. Now, when I feel angry, you can all say you feel sweaty, you feel hot, your body temperature goes up. Okay, cool. I experience those things, but before I would experience that as anger. But what I know my body has done, my body has literally just set me up to be ready for action. Now, is that action going to be a fight, or is that action going to be something else? That's where your mind, your perception makes the judgment. So you have to train your brain and retrain your perception. Literally, especially with all this Virgo energy and all these planets in Virgo right now, it's all directing us to like really look back and evaluate and upgrade our actions and our thoughts, because that's what we're creating our lives from. But yeah. So basically, that's all I actually had no reason to come on here, but I just felt like I needed to aerate. And you guys are my friends, and for me, this new moon is happening in my 11th house of friendships and goals. So social media is my friend, and I do, because for me as well, I like to go back to these videos and seeing my consciousness, seeing how I've grown through this, and it humbles me, because every time you guys make contact with me, I learn something new. You help me a lot, so I'm very grateful. Yeah, I'm just like, maybe I came out here to be grateful, and that's what I really am. I'm really grateful. Yeah, do you know, and that's another thing, like, I just have to be grateful. That's what I'm really just grateful. So you guys, I want to share that energy on to you guys, also being grateful at any time as well, that you feel like you're so burdened down. Finding something to be grateful for, and you always can. And if you can't find something to be grateful for, this is where it gets really cool. Let me just so if you have nothing to be grateful for, yeah, pick a part of your body, because anytime you show any part of your body attention, you're activating those cells, you're showing them glory. The water there, you already know how water responds, guys. So most of the time for me, when I can't think of something, all the information in the world are not working, then I think of my toes. I literally think of my toes. I'll be like, I'll be like, toes, thank you for keeping me balanced, will be the first thing I'll say. And then I'll move my toes, physically move them, and I'll be like, oh, they're dry, oh, moisture, oh, they're sweaty, or whatever it may be. But your focus already has been taken away from what you are worrying about, or what you couldn't stop yourself from thinking of, and you're already breaking the frequency to attract they say it takes about 19 seconds, I say 20, to bring in the same frequency that you're thinking of, or how you're feeling. So when you stop thinking of that thing, and you're thinking about something else and giving thanks to something else, you've automatically changed your frequency. And that's how life is so easy. It's like a game. Honestly, it's so easy. I said, like, it's just not hard. And it's amazing. It's amazing, because it's amazing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy, guys. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. But I go through challenges, but I swear to God, if this was just a couple of years ago, it would be a different me. So it does work. I'm a huge testimony of that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say to you guys. So I'm actually going to get some dinner now and eat, and full joy the rest of my evening. Get ready and really think about what I want to plan for my new moon tomorrow. Like I was saying to you guys, for me, it's happening in my 11th house, and my manifestations have come. They've come full blown in my face, like boom, and I've had to look at them and be like, I don't want you, because I was not specific. So it's like not really Salome's manifestation. So I'm not being upset about it. I'm not moaning about it. I literally thought, who Who Moved My Cheese. It's a book. It's a really good book you guys should read. Who Moved My Cheese. Literally not focus. When all your goals, anything that you want to attain in this life or you desire, which first of all I have to say, everything you need you already have within you. You only, anything external from you is a want. That's why we want to manifest desires. You don't manifest something you need, because you already have everything you need. You already have that. You were born complete, put it that way. So anybody who told you anything less, it's a lie. You were born complete. So being born complete, you want to attract the experiences and the desires for why you were here in this earthly plane. So for me, when I have a goal, I'm gonna get that goal. Now there's a couple of roads to take me to that goal, and you might go on one road and it's blocked. So what, are you gonna focus on why it's blocked and why you have roadworks, or are you just gonna turn around and use the other route that could be open? So that's how I look. Like, if I set something and it's not worked out, I'm like, you know what? No means new opportunity. This means a new opportunity to think up of a new route. Literally simple as. I do not waste no mental energy on feeling some type of way about a goal. I do have ways, because me, I'm an emotional being. I'm really emotional. I do have ways of releasing. I have about 3 people who are like my pillars. So I go to them, I talk to my friends, so I aerate things out. I talk to social media like I'm doing right now, like I'm aerating out. You guys are making my mood is going all the way out. Just talking and aerating. I do that. I write, like, yo guys, I be writing for life. Yeah, writing is spelling. When you're spelling, you're casting a spell. I write, I release all those things. I've joined a sister called Oracle Oya. Every morning, I've joined her package, her 111 package. So every morning, I say an affirmation and a prayer as well that she set there for us, and I listen to a specific tune. So I go out there and I make sure there's other ways I can bring myself back to balance. Or you can just go outside and just take your shoes off, take your socks off, put your feet onto the earth. As an electrical magnetic being, you must always remember to be grounded. The same way you charge your phone, that's exactly the same thing you're doing when you step on earth. You're charging yourself up. Hug a tree or just go stand outside and take 3 deep breaths will bring you back to balance. But you always have to think about whatever action you want to take, or whatever action you want to do and execute, what results would it bring you? I'm not saying don't take a calculated risk or anything, but just don't focus on negative stuff. You don't need to. It's a waste of your time. Life is an experience. Cool, you've experienced that. Now what's the wisdom that you've got from there to now apply onto your route forward? That's the only reason why that shit failed. It doesn't fail because you didn't make it. Like, that's dumb. I like what he said on YouTube. It was I think it was Supernova. He was like, you're always successful. Whether you're successful in not getting up in the morning and doing whatever the thing, it's still being successful in not doing something. So success is always there, but you have to now it all depends on you, on how your success is valued, I guess. So in saying that, guys, I am going to go eat because I'm hungry now, and then just kind of chill back and have a really relaxing time. Guys, please subscribe to my YouTube. Spectrum Salome. Follow me on my page on Facebook, Spectrum Salome. Join the counteractive news on Facebook, which you guys can post as long as it's positive in there. Where else am I? I'm also on SoundCloud, but on my SoundCloud, I've stopped the series I was doing. I was doing the 7 principles and how you can match them in manifestations, but I've stopped that because I wanted to continue the rest of it in Kenya. And I'll be in Kenya on the 10th of October, so we'll be getting that going. So do follow me on there, guys, as well. Share my videos. I'm not scared to ask people to share, because you know what? Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Share. Word of mouth. Share, guys, because information is for every single person. Information is there for you guys. I don't own any information. I just own the energy that I can bring the information through. And yeah. Thank you. And thank you guys for listening to me air it out. Hotep. Mwah.